back to my channel. My name is Catherine and this is another video in my series of finding out once and for all why I have low iron. So if you've seen previous videos of mine, I can pretty much guarantee that even if the video isn't about medical stuff, you'll probably see in my demeanor, in my expression, and in everything, I kind of don't have a lot of oomph. And that's because recently I got blood work done and I found out that I had a ferritin level, sorry about the glowing face, of 6. That's not ideal. I had been struggling a bit with loss of sensation in my left leg. The suspicion there was low B12, and the blood work showed a lot of things. What did it mainly show? Hemoglobin, vitamin D, iron low, cortisol really high. I've recently been gaining a ton of weight. Very disheartening, very. So I'm really worried about the summertime and trying to fit into my summer clothes. I don't think at my current weight that will be possible. So this video is kind of like tips. This is my personal experience. This isn't like medical advice. It's just kind of like one friend chatting to another about things that might be a good idea if you haven't frequently gone to doctors, about what you could do at your appointment. So backtracking, about 10 days ago, I got a blood infusion because my ferritin levels were at a 6. And I was told that I might not immediately feel better, but fairly quickly. So I'll have to look up the date that I got it. I'll put it on the screen below. I do not feel better. I feel worse. Mentally, I'm really struggling a lot. I still have the tingling in my legs. I still feel fatigued, very weak arms. It's like my muscles feel like I've been to the gym for 17 hours straight when I haven't been to the gym. So today I'm going to this doctor with hopes and dreams in my heart, and I have actually written notes. So that's my first tip. Write notes. When you have time before your appointment to kind of think about what you need to do, if you write some notes down, then when you go and you start to feel flustered and overwhelmed, you might have a rough idea of, okay, I want to ask them about my low iron. Where do we think it comes from? I think I would like to actually see a gastro doctor. I'd like to see a gastro to find out if I have some kind of leak in my system or something. Because if this first video you've ever seen of mine, I am a carnivore. I am not a smoker, drinker. I don't think I have any pre-existing, that I know of, conditions. Previously, my thyroid has looked to be somewhat clapped out, but I have had 10 children in 14 years. So my youngest child will be 2 in November. This is the first time in many years since I had my first child over 16 years ago that I haven't been pregnant or breastfeeding. So it's like, this is the chance. This is the moment where I can talk to somebody and say, let's get to the bottom of this. Let's not just have a pill from the chemist. Let's find out why my iron is low. So there's my plan. I'm gonna go to the doctor. I'm gonna have my notes to keep me on track. And I want to walk out of there with the next step. So the next step, I hope, is him saying come back in X amount of time for repeat blood work, and also a referral to see a gastro doctor. And I was kind of trying to be really sort of militant about what I ate, no gluten and stuff, but I've decided now to give myself, at this stage of my life, some freedom with what I eat. if I go completely, totally gluten-free, then that could stuff up any kind of results that might show a wheat intolerance, a gluten intolerance, who even knows. As far as like an underlying condition, maybe. I mean, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason why if I'm eating bucket loads of red meat and I'm eating things with citrus, I'm eating like, you know, they say all the different things that help iron absorb. I've tried spirulina before. I've tried the Ferrograd tablets. They just basically made me end up going to the hospital because of constipation. So clearly I fall into the category of a person who perhaps should not be on iron tablets. So I kind of gave them up. I've done the Spartone, so the liquid iron supplements. I've done double doses of them. And really, because I think my issue is so great, I have a lot of brain fog. I have a lot of memory issues. I really struggle with distractibility. I now feel depressed, and I know I'm not depressed. I strongly feel that something in my system is out of whack and therefore causing depressive thoughts or whatever. So yeah, there's like my whole history. I'm happily married. I'm fine, but I'm really not fine. So hopefully this is the beginning of some kind of answers. Taking my list, making notes. That's another thing. Like previously I'd go to doctors and I'd feel kind of embarrassed. Like if I start typing in my phone, he might think I'm sending a text message. But really, if you do have some kind of brain fog issues, one, you could take another person with you, because then maybe two memories are better than one. You could record with the doctor's permission, the recording device. You could write notes. So that's my plan. My plan is to type notes, even get him to print things out. So, I mean, let's talk hypothetical. Hypothetical, he says, I think you have irritable bowel syndrome. I would then say, hi, do you have a printout that maybe explains that in layman's terms, what that is? Or can I have a follow-up appointment for, what was it you just said? Something to very strongly show the doctor that you're struggling. This is not a time for me to go there and say, I'm good, thanks, how are you? Like, no. This is actually a time to say I'm struggling and I need help. So it's be honest. That's my plan. Again, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not like, I'm kind of sound like I'm telling you what to do, but honestly, be honest. I am tired, I'm struggling, I'm happy, but I feel reactionary. That's my big thing. Like, I feel like often my response and my reactions to things is not even. So something might happen and I'll go, don't do that, and then I immediately kind of feel like, oh, I wasn't even bothered by that. Why did I kind of react like that? I don't feel like I sleep soundly. Constantly aches and pains and issues and all sorts of things. So here we go. I've nearly arrived at my appointment. I've had the chat with you. I'm gonna go for it. It's gonna be okay. And here's to better health. So I'll check in with you guys when I know more, and we'll go from there. So that was the first time I'd ever seen that doctor. He was an excellent listener. And he believes that I have quite, he described it as a complex case. I guess because, one, we've never like met before. So does that make me complex? Two, I guess the fact that I have 10 children, that I've had 10 cesareans, that I previously have had low iron unexplainably. So, but he was like, man, he was really good. He gave me the referral to the gastro that I've been recommended to see. He gave my husband time off work, so hopefully I can rest. It's 11 days since my iron infusion, so he wants me in 4 weeks' time to get repeat bloods done, and I can get it done at the same doctor's office, and it's just like a walk-in situation, which is great. And he wants to retest my vitamin B12. So he said to not have the spray for 1 week before I get the test, so that we can have a clear indication of what my B12 levels are. And I was expecting this, but he was concerned about my mental health. So I told him, I said my mental health does feel like it's struggling because of my physical health. So doing things like FODMAP diet, being told you have irritable bowel syndrome, low FODMAP diet, being told to do elimination diets, gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, fun-free, doing a lot of these different things, having to do food diaries, eating all sorts of gross and terrible things, and not much improvement. It's quite a defeating, because I said to him, it's like if a person had an allergy and they had anaphylactic response, say they're allergic to nuts. If they had an allergic reaction where it's like their throat closed over, they couldn't breathe, they needed major help, and they ended up like diagnosed and had an EpiPen and like a plan, they would have the incentive. They would know, like, whoa, when I have peanuts, my throat closes over. So they would have like a reason, like, okay, no nuts for me, thanks, I'm allergic. But I feel kind of invisible. I feel like it's all guesswork, because it's very popular these days to be gluten-free. It's like, guys, it's become like a popular thing that I don't want to be gluten-free if I don't have to be. Like, I don't want to be dairy-free if I don't have to be. And that's a fact. And I think a lot of us become afraid of saying, I like eating donuts, because it's this judgment of like, no, we have to eat organic, or we have to eat grass-fed, or we have to eat vegan or vegetarian. All these have-to rules can be very damaging to a person with poor health for a long period of time. And blaming the person as well is very damaging as well. So without any clear answers and trying a lot of different things, it's also very damaging to be told off. So anyhow, I'm not meaning to kind of sound like total rant over it. I guess it's just really built up for a really long time, and now I really want answers. I really want to work out what's wrong with me. I want to know why my iron is low. And I told him, I'm like, Doctor, you're a really nice guy. You've been so helpful and lovely. Thank you. I don't want to keep coming back to you for years and years unless I have to. If I keep coming back to a doctor to find out what's going on at point 1, that's like that's not an answer. As opposed to being diagnosed with something and have management. Like, that's a huge difference. Yes, I've been guilty of not seeing a doctor for a long time. I know. Lesson learned. You have to see doctors. And I don't know if I left and he's like, oh great, I'm stuck with her now. I don't know. But let's hope that he didn't feel that way, and that we can have a productive, fruitful relationship where we get some answers. That's my plan. So there you go. I was a big girl. I went to the doctor, it was okay. He told me to keep eating gluten, make sure that I eat gluten, because you can kind of not get a clear indication of what's going on in terms of intolerances, celiac or whatever, if you're super gluten-free before you see a gastro. So woohoo! I'm gonna eat donuts and I'm gonna enjoy them. Obviously, if I'm eating things and I feel sick or poorly, I won't keep eating those things. Like, that's clear to me. I will do that. But yeah, so happy afternoon. Happy next step in the plan. And you'll just hear another update from me when I have one. But that's the next step. Next step, gastro and eat some donuts. So I'll let you guys go and I'll talk to you later. Bye.